right, Little Rico, our own government waging a war, a campaign of terror on your cousins, your ancestors, wolves. First, our government rescues these American icons from extinction over 35 years ago. Now, critics say the U.S. government has completely changed course and is engineering the wholesale slaughter of wolves in a slew of states. Since the gray wolf was removed from the endangered species list in several states 3 years ago, Predator Defense estimates about 3,000 wolves have been slaughtered in 6 states. Some say it's higher. There are only about 5,000 gray wolves left in the lower 48. The wolf killing spree happening in Idaho, Montana, Wyoming, Minnesota, Wisconsin, and there's a battle in Michigan. We've got breaking news on that now. The U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, under the Interior Department, wants to remove federal protection of wolves in all but 2 states. This woman, Secretary of the Interior, Sally Jewell, is ultimately the leader of this horrific war on wolves. We warn you, the next video we're going to show you very graphic, but it's important to bear witness to suffering. Critics say wolf hunting is vicious, violent. It's driving wolves to the brink of extinction again. Sports hunters shoot wolves, sometimes from helicopters. Sometimes they're poisoned. These poor wolves and even household pets get caught in traps and suffer long, painful deaths. Straight out to Wayne Pacelli, president of the Humane Society of the United States. Wayne, you have breaking news about our government via the Interior Department's war on wolves.
Well, Jane, what's happened is the federal government had wolves listed as endangered, and they removed those federal protections. The states then took over, and state politicians have been the ones that have been driving this massive killing of wolves in Wisconsin, Minnesota, Idaho, Wyoming, Montana. The one bright spot, but it's still a big fight, is that it appears we blocked the wolf hunting season in Michigan for this fall. But very importantly, there are 2 ballot measures on the slate in November. So when people are voting for governor and U.S. senator and other offices, they'll also be voting to kill wolves or protect wolves in the future. So we're really urging people to get behind our measure. We've got a coalition called KeepWolvesProtected.com. That's a big battleground. Of course, there's still wolves being killed in the other states, but we don't have anything quite so imminent in terms of a decision from the public.
You heard it. KeepWolvesProtected.com. The Interior Department just sent us this statement, quote, the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service has been at the forefront of the conservation efforts that led to the spectacular recovery of the gray wolf, one of our nation's most iconic species. We have no intention of seeing those efforts reversed, although the gray wolf has not returned to its former range numbers. According to the letter of the Endangered Species Act, it is no longer in danger of extinction or likely to become so in the foreseeable future. According to the letter, maybe not the spirit, Wayne. What exactly is what's your response to that?
Well, you know, we have a lawsuit against the Interior Department over the delisting of the wolves in the Great Lakes region in Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Michigan. You know, in Wisconsin, they have only 700 or 800 wolves. They killed more than 250 of them. These are social animals. They live in packs. 80% of those wolves were trapped with snares and steel jaw like traps, or they were hunted with packs of hounds before the people shot them. Not because they were offending problem wolves, but just because they wanted a trophy or a fur pelt. And it's important, you know, there are people who hunt deer for the meat. Nobody kills wolves for food. They're inedible. This is just trophy hunting in its purest form.
Well, and critics say it's also not only to benefit hunters, but it's also to sort of placate the cattle industry. I've heard critics say that, if there are thousands of wolves out there and one cow gets attacked by a wolf, all of a sudden, they become predators.
Yeah. It's irrational, Jane. They have this irrational fear of wolves. It's like Little Red Riding Hood and fairy tales. The Michigan Live, which is a consortium of Michigan newspapers, said that more than half of all of the incidents reported in Michigan were on one farm where the farmer was baiting the wolves with deer parts and cow parts, and then he's crying crocodile tears that the wolves are bothering him when he was baiting them onto his farm. So the whole thing are trumped up charges against wolves. Wolves have been proved in Yellowstone to have an amazing ecological effect, a beneficial cascade effect through the ecosystem. No reason to kill them for their heads. The states and federal government already allow selective control of wolves causing a problem. This is trophy hunting of unoffending wolves.
Quickly, what should people do, people who care about wolves?
You know, The #1 battles in Michigan. Go to keepwolvesprotected.com because that is coming up in 60 days, a vote of the people in the state of Michigan. You know, write to your federal lawmakers, write to Sally Jewell, the Interior Secretary, and say that this needless killing by the states in the Northern Rockies and the Great Lakes must stop.
All right. We have a bunch of websites there, but keepwolvesprotected.com. You can also go to my Facebook page, and we will give you all the information. These poor creatures can't speak for themselves. They're ancestors of the dogs we all love. Look at them. I can't tell the difference between that and a dog. They are essentially cousins. Sally Jewell, I have no words. I have no words. I pray that you will find it in your heart to show compassion to our wolves and other species that you have control over.